So we got time for one more. We're going to discuss mentors helping address drugs like lean in the rap industry. I'll start with you, Angie. How do you feel about this?
So, as someone who has been a firm lover of hip hop culture for many, many years, when I was growing up, we had NWA, Snoop, Dre, Ice Cube, Ice T, like hardcore people rapping about hardcore stuff, but they were about their community. They were about the youngsters. They were about the people around them. There was a huge problem with drugs when I was younger, but the problem with today is that was something that was understood. It was in a place. It was contained. Right now, the way that rap music is pushing perks and lean and all that stuff into mainstream society and accepting it is wrong. I think that there's a lot of people I look up to, like Sway in the Morning, and I listen to Sway in the Morning, and they talk firmly about supporting the youth and educating the youth and giving the youth a chance. And I think by us allowing the talk of all these drugs and lean, especially lean, to be in mainstream media is sad. And there is a song that Lil Baby just put out. I love Lil Baby. At first I thought he was just like over the top, but then I watched an interview that he did with I can't think of his name anyway, but you could tell he was feeling some type of way. And the fact that they just accept it like it is, in that verse he was basically asking for help, but he said he had no one to lean on. Mm-hmm. He said he had no one to be there to help him through it. He has all these people surrounding him, but he has no one there to help him get off of it. And then even with Lil Wayne, Lil Wayne feels like he is more successful when he is on the drug. I actually heard a kind of an OG discussing it. I can't think of the name either. Maybe it was 50 Cent, actually. He was discussing the fact that some of these people need these drugs and need this stuff to feel like they can do it. But if you get in a studio with, like, say, Dr. Dre and be like, hold on, I need to drink this, or hold on, I need to do this, you're going to miss that opportunity. And so I really think that some of the older people in this game should start calling it out for what it is. BS. It's ruining our culture. It's destroying our children. It's making all these young kids think that's cool. So how many people are we going to lose to, lean, perks, opiates? How many artists have we lost? Juice WRLD, like the list goes on and on. It really does, from these drugs. And we're still glorifying it. I have a problem with that. Yeah. I really do.
And I would say being a musician and owning a label and all that stuff, I'm going to put all the pressure on the record labels, because I feel that, number one, they're the gatekeepers and they control, for the most part, what is being provided to the listeners. So if these record labels want to get behind these little whoever's who are talking about drugs and guns and leans and perks, and they want to put hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars behind promoting these songs, while you got people like, just for instance, like a Ken Starr or even though he's popular, like Kendrick Lamar or J. Cole, like the labels don't push them. Their art form pushes them, but these labels will push all these youngsters that are here today, gone tomorrow, just because it's what's popping right now, and it is very misleading to these kids. As a barber, I have a lot of teenage clients, and I see, like, I know what they're doing. Like, yeah. I've seen lean bottles fall out of their backpacks and out of their jackets, and everybody that got perks or blues or this and this and that. And I'm just like,
and it's socially accepted now is the problem.
Yeah.
I have a problem with that. I have a huge problem, especially in the white community, with not talking about mental health.
Yeah.
With making it like it's a bad thing that you talk about in private. And like, part of the drugs is part of the mental health. If there is a person struggling, they lean on the lean and the perks and the stuff instead of dealing with their mental health issues.
And I think that could be one of the bigger issues too. And even Lil Wayne did, I forget who he did it with just a couple months ago, but he did an interview and he was talking about mental health in the black community. And I think that some people are afraid to admit that they have some kind of mental health problem, and I don't know why. So if you're listening out there and you're seeing this and you feel something's wrong with you, like, go talk to someone. Don't be ashamed to say that you don't feel normal.
I have dealt with my mental health, and having to be able to work my shit out made all the difference in the world for me. And I think that any single person can benefit from talking to somebody.
I think that, being that this is my field,
Yeah.
And this is what I deal with on a daily basis. I'm seeing so many of our young people being destroyed, and they're being destroyed because they look at these artists as something special, and when these artists are doing something, they think they should do it too.
Yeah.
And more, I'm sick and tired of burying kids. I'm sick and
Yeah.
tired of it.
Yes.
I mean, the biggest one that stands out for me, even though I know there's other prominent people as well, but Juice World, you know, with his problems, his mental health problems and yada yada. But I mean, for the fact that he died because he had pills on him and he knew the cops were waiting and he didn't want to get arrested. I don't know why he didn't flush him, but he decided to take him and, you know, killed himself.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and
just,
he even sings in his songs about he's going to die from this.
Yeah.
Like how do, when one of our young people is singing on a song, I'm going to die from this, do the older leaders within our hip hop community, our music, our all these industries that we have around supporting these young people to push them, why aren't we there saying, okay, we need to do something?
because there's no money in that.
Absolutely.
There's no
Right.
money in that.
Right. You know, I'm just like we talk about the police needing mental health people to help them. We need mental health people to be involved with entertainers,
Yeah.
Exactly.
where they're not afraid to come to you and say, "I'm out of control. I need some help."
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think that should be part. I think each label should have a separate part of that, and not just say we have it available. No, make it mandatory.
Absolutely.
I just feel that would never happen because, I mean,
Yeah.
there's a reason I feel that there's certain genres of rap. And I feel the bottom, and not that it is, but the bottom of the totem pole is like conscious rap. It's like
Yeah.
no one cares about the people who are the Talib Kweli's of the world in the comments.
Which
and
is
yada,
a
yada.
shame.
Yeah, because they're speaking positiveness. People want to hear the negative.
That's true.
And that's what drives it because people
Most
are so angry.
most people are lost.
Yeah.
You know, in that negative mindset.
So these record labels aren't going to make any money having,
unless they change.
yeah.
If you change the narrative,
Right.
you can change the result.
Right.
You know, and they are the gatekeepers because they are, you know, we hear them every day.
Yeah.
Everybody in their car has a radio. Everybody in their house has a TV. We're on the internet. We have these, you know, portable tracking devices, you know.
Right.
So there's influence coming from all these things. We can either be part of the problem or part of the solution.
Props to J. Cole, man.
Absolutely.
I feel that he's one rapper
Yeah, I love
that
J.
walks
Cole.
the fine line. He keeps it street, but if you really listen, he talks about mental health problems and doing better for yourself. And, you know, I mean, if I could say anyone that could break the mold,
Yeah.
you know, it would be him.
Yeah, he is one of those people that was outspoken when he was young and checked himself,
Yeah.
you know, and reevaluated and came back different. And I like that about him.
Yes.
And if you look back at the old music, when I say old, I'm talking about 50s, 60s, 70s, you know what I mean? There was people that followed the music, they enjoyed it, and it was a different mindset.
Yeah.
And it can get back to that with the rap.
It can. It can.
Yeah, it's tough. I believe mental health is a big issue in regards to the drug usage, and I agree with what y'all said. I think it's going to take someone in the community, someone big, to step up and kind of want to change that stigma, because I feel like that's kind of the reason a lot of them don't want to come out, is because it's still a negative.
Yeah. They
Still
feel
kind
they
of
won't
still
be
kind of
supported.
embarrassing, and
A sign
especially
of
with
weakness,
like and
a
it's
show
still
of
like with the
weakness.
internet and stuff is nowadays. Like I'm gonna use an example, slightly different, but you know, with Chadwick Boseman, you know, when people were seeing how thin he was and how everyone was making fun of
Yeah.
him and stuff like that. You know, no one knew that he was fighting cancer this whole time.
Right.
So it's just the internet is a cruel place, and the fact that it's so
Judgmental.
exactly judgmental, and it's so accessible to everybody. So you know, if a rapper came out and was like, "Hey, I am depressed. You know, I'm sad. I don't want to be around anymore," you could open the floodgates for people to make fun of him and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And I think a lot of people feel that way. Like you can't be vulnerable in the limelight because there are always going to be those negative people. They're going to use it to
Yeah.
expose you in a horrible way. And I feel like that's kind of the what's keeping, you know, I'm still doing the lean and stuff like that. And it also, like, I think the labels don't give a shit because
Yeah.
the more money, you know, when you see, like, I've seen,
we want to
like,
keep him like that. Let's feed him
yeah,
stuff.
exactly. I've seen rappers that I wasn't even aware of that were rappers, you know, do lean and stuff, and they'll make TikToks of themselves doing something crazy. Like I saw a guy, he was wearing like, I think it's Trippy Red. He was wearing like these electronic brass knuckles, and he like punched his TV until it was like broken. the labels want stuff like that because
Yeah.
that blew up on TikTok, you know.
Yeah.
So unfortunately,
It trended.
they're gonna let them destroy themselves because that brings in publicity, and then
Millions.
they're just gonna bring in a new
Yeah.
young artist to replace them.
There should be some control.
There absolutely.
But
should
you know
be.
what? I think that it's beginning to change because I've been looking at Tamara Hall for the last 3 weeks, and everybody that's came on her show has talked about their addiction. I'm
That's
talking
good.
about entertainers talking about their addiction. They're not afraid anymore to
That's
talk
the
about the
first
things
step.
that they, and that's the first step. And I think that if more people will allow people to come on and be honest on their shows that
Give
we
them a
watch.
platform.
Yeah,